So this time last week, we checked out my top 5 players that I think the Jets could consider drafting at number 7 overall. Then earlier this week, we took a look at players that I considered mid-round selections for the Jets. Now, of course, we're going to round that out, and we're going to take a look at some late-round gems that I think the Jets should seriously consider drafting. Now, a couple things before this. Obviously, this is my opinion. Doesn't mean that they should draft them. Just players that I think would do very, very well for the Jets, and I would certainly like to see on the Jets. And also, if you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, please leave a like and subscribe if you are interested in content like this and all New York Jets content like it. Now, without further delay, let's get into it. And at number 5, I have Hollin Pierce. Now, in my comment sections over the last couple weeks, I've been very surprised to see that a lot of people know who Hollin Pierce is. I'm thinking it's because of the Rutgers thing. A lot of Jets fans in New Jersey. Rutgers is in New Jersey. It's really the closest D1 FBS college to where I'm located as well. But he's an absolute monster. This is someone that I feel like is maybe filled with untapped potential and relentless motor. Someone that's going to consistently want to get better. Obviously, the size and the length is something that's absolutely going to blow you away. Pause, no diddy there. 6'8", 344 pounds. I've seen conflicting reports, 345, 348, 342. Let's just call it in the middle here. Let's call it 344. A fantastic overall player. He's got a good demeanor and he's extremely physical. He's got fantastic protection upside. Don't let the 79.5 pass blocking grade fool you. This is PFF. He was phenomenal. Dominant, road grader type of guy in the run game as well, run blocking. Like I said, high effort. He's going to give you 110% on every single play, and he's got great character as well. This is someone that you're going to draft in the later part of the draft, but with high hopes. This isn't someone that you think, oh, maybe with a ton of development, this will be a player that I might be able to play. This is a guy that you expect to be with a little bit of a development period. He is going to be a starter on either side of the offensive line for you. He's obviously got the size. So his quickness is a little bit of concern. So again, speed rushers is where I'm a little concerned there, but I think that he would be a really, really good right tackle at the NFL level. Really, this is why I think he's a good fit for the Jets. I think he would be a good right tackle at the next level. A little bit of development. We don't have Keith Carter anymore, ruining all of our prospects. So maybe we could actually start develop some offensive players. But Hollin Pierce is someone that blew away the competition at the Senior Bowl as well. He obviously upped his stock. So I'm talking about him as a day 3 steal here, but he might be someone that is in consideration for late day 2 or even at some point in day 2. So that's something to consider as well. At number 4, by the way, these are all in no particular order. I just have them numbered. It's not, this isn't like, oh, Hollin Pierce would be my 5th favorite and Mitchell Evans would be my 4th. No, it's just I have them numbered. But Mitchell Evans, tight end from Notre Dame, is number 4 for me. This is someone that if you go back to my tight end rankings before the college football season started, I was very high on Mitchell Evans. I believe I had him as like my 6th highest rated tight end going into the season. A little bit of a disappointment of a season, but then again, you have Jeremiah Love, you have Riley Leonard. They're running the ball a ton. 43 catches in this Notre Dame offense is actually pretty good. 421 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. He's just, I love watching him because you see him get off the line of scrimmage. One thing that I will knock against him is he's obviously not the most athletic tight end out there. Kind of tough to be at 6'5", 260 pounds, but he's so powerful off the line of scrimmage and as a blocker as well. Anyone that's smaller than him, so you got to figure 6'5", 260 pounds, unless it's an outside linebacker with size, he's going to be bigger than every other off-ball linebacker on the field. So right away, you get some second-level blocking dominance there, even in line. He's a good blocker as well. He knows how to find the soft spot in the zone, which is something that's like super encouraging at the next level. I love seeing that. It's like you watch his route and you think to yourself, he looks like a today version of Travis Kelce, where like Travis Kelce kind of sort of looks like he moves in slow motion, but somehow he's open and wide open, albeit that. So that's what Mitchell Evans does. He's great in identifying the soft part of the zone coverage. Obviously, his size is fantastic. And he isn't the fastest, but he's got good short area acceleration, which is something that I like as well. Something where he can get open in man-to-man coverage as well, that short area acceleration. So I don't have to tell you guys, if you're watching this and you're Jets fans, that the tight end position is a little bit of a disaster projecting into 2025 and beyond. Mitchell Evans is someone that I think could be there in the 4th or 5th round, and someone that is absolutely worth taking the punt on. I shouldn't even say punt. I think he's going to be a contributor at the next level. These Notre Dame tight ends are just, they just know how to find their way into the NFL, and they know how to be productive. So I think Mitchell Evans has a really strong case of being a day 3 gem for not only the Jets, anyone that's going to consider drafting him. At number 3, I have one of my favorite prospects in the entire draft class, Upton Stout. Now, there aren't many players in football that I could say I weigh more than. I could confidently tell you that not only am I taller than Upton Stout, I do weigh more than Upton Stout as well. So that's interesting to me, at least. You know, that's something that not the average Joe like myself could say every single day. But Upton Stout is a fantastic football player. I mean, he is 167 pounds, but he plays like he's 267 pounds. The physical approach, the tenacity. I mean, if you turn on his reps at the Senior Bowl, he was playing boundary corner against guys that were much bigger than him, and he was basically dominating those guys. The play strength for his size is off the charts. Closing speed is fantastic as well, and he's a great blitzer, and he is really, really strong in run support as well. I mean, a safety with 52 total tackles and 8 of them being tackled for loss will kind of tell you that. He's got good enough ball skills as well. He's not someone that you're really going to rely on as a ball hawk in that secondary, but someone that I really do think at the next level could translate to be a really, really strong slot defender, or just even an in-the-box safety at someone at 5'9", 167 pounds. But a couple concerns, obviously, is the play strength and the size, and tough shedding blocks with his size, of course. So that's one thing that you might think to yourself, maybe he can't really play well in the box. But there hasn't been anything that we've seen through reps and through tape. I think tape is usually the end-all, be-all. He's just a fantastic player, great pursuit, takes great angles as well to get around those blocks, because he knows as a player, you have to adapt as a strong player going towards projecting towards the NFL. He adapts, he gets around those would-be blockers, and he makes the play. He's a really, really fantastic player, and I would suggest, if you haven't watched any Upton Stout tape or any highlights at all, I suggest turning it on. For the 5 to 8 minutes that it's going to take you to watch it, he's a very, very impressive player. And kind of like with Mitchell Evans, I don't have to tell Jets fans that the safety position is a disaster going forward. We know that Aaron Glenn likes to play with 2, possibly 3 very, very good, high-quality safeties in his defense. So you have to think that he's going to want to revamp that entire positional group. Why not start with Upton Stout? He's a fantastic player. He embodies that Aaron Glenn type of mentality and accountability, and I think he'd be great. I think he'll be great for anyone, to be honest with you. Number 2 is C.J. West. Now, C.J. West wasn't on a lot of people's radars until the East-West Shrine game, where he was probably the best player on the field every time on the defensive side. Every rep was basically won. He is just I can't describe him other than just a thick boy. 6'2", 330 pounds. He is a space eater. He is a block eater. He's your typical nose at the NFL level. But what I really appreciate about C.J. West's game is the fact that he can apply the pressure to the quarterback as well. Something that you don't traditionally see from those space eater type of guys, those run first defenders. He can get pressure. He can break through double teams. He's just an all-around really awesome player. Someone that's super athletic for his size as well. This is a player that I would love to see paired next to Quinnen Williams, because my big thing is, if I'm the Jets GM, I'm the Jets head coach, I'm anyone. You see someone as dominant as Quinnen Williams, who I think had like a 15.7% pressure rate while being double teamed about 72% of the snaps that he played. Why wouldn't you pair him with someone that's just as dominant and just as double team worthy as someone like a C.J. West or a Mason Graham, maybe in the first round? Or why not both? Because you can't double team both guys. That's the thing. You're going to have to make a choice. And someone as stout and as strong as C.J. West, you're probably going to have to double team him. and then leaving Quinn and Williams on one-on-ones, that is a fantastic thought to have as a Jets fan. But C.J. West is a fantastic player. I think he is a game wrecker at the next level. I'll be quite honest with you. Really reminds you of a DJ Reader type of player. And I think that's his best projection going forward. I think C.J. West would be a great addition on any team. Number one, well, like I said, I'm not going off of actual ones and twos and all that kind of stuff, but Pat Bryant. I'm a big fan of Pat Bryant. I think I've done 4 or 5 Jets mock drafts this offseason on the channel, and I think Pat Bryant has been in 2 or 3 of them. Big fan of this guy's game. One thing I love about Pat Bryant over a lot of guys in this draft class is his willingness and his ability to be a boundary run blocker as well. Someone that you could really rely on getting to the next level, sealing that block for the running back or the quarterback, whoever's running the football, or even a fellow wide receiver. He's a really, really good blocking wide receiver. That is something that I feel like is such a lost art, especially talking about a wide receiver. But he's a physical route runner as well. He's got a strong catch radius, long arms, nice big frame, 6'2". Depending on what you see, 6'2", 6'3", around 200 to 210 pounds. Like I said, I try and cut those statistics like in the middle for the most part if I get a lot of middling reports. This was obviously his best season for the Fighting Illini. 54 catches, 984 yards, 10 touches, 18.2 yards per catch. He was fantastic. Now, he's not the fastest, and he doesn't have the biggest route tree as well, but that's something, fastest, what are you going to do? Can't really do much about that. But he can separate. He's getting 18.2 yards per catch. He's separating, that's for sure. And also, route tree is something that I think, they don't ask him and Zachariah Franklin to do a lot at Illinois, kind of just get vertical for the most part, and they are both good at doing that. I think Pat Bryant doesn't get enough credit for the routes that he can run and the routes that he'd probably be able to run at the next level. So with a little bit of development there, I think that he would be a really nice find. Probably, I'm going to say late 4th round, early 5th, maybe even early 4th, kind of like where Troy Franklin went last year for Denver. I feel like Pat Bryant's a really, really good find in a deep wide receiver class, but not necessarily a separated wide receiver class where you have your elites, you have your goods. I feel like it's just a lot of good. That's what I'm getting from this. And then I know I said 5, but I have a bonus here just because this guy is just an unbelievable football player. Have you seen what David Walker can do? I know that he plays at the FCS level at Central Arkansas. Awesome uniforms, by the way. Love that purple color. This past year, and basically his entire career at Central Arkansas, has been generational from a pass rushing standpoint. 12 sacks, 23 tackles for a loss, 4 forced fumbles. I believe I saw something like he had 52 pressures and 41 quarterback hits, something along those lines. He was fantastic at the Senior Bowl as well. Came in, proved anything that he had to, and then just left, kind of like what Mike Green did. I'll be quite honest with you. I think the 3 best pass rushers in this draft class this year, Abdul Carter, Mike Green, and David Walker at 1, 2, and 3. I think it's a very diverse group coming from very different backgrounds. You have, Abdul Carter coming from Penn State, one of the top teams in the country, going up against cream of the crop every single week. Then you have Mike Green, who plays at the FBS level, but plays in Conference USA, which isn't really the greatest competition. Then you have David Walker from the FCS level, who, that competition is often, turned up a nose at. So I think he's fantastic. This isn't really me pleading a case for the Jets to draft him. I just think he's a fantastic player, and I really wanted to highlight him. I'll be honest with you, with his performances and his measurables and his tape, I would be surprised if he gets past day 2. So that would be a real gem. That would probably be one of the biggest gems that any team can draft. And we don't know what kind of player he's going to be. Will McDonald was a little spotty here and there. He had spurts of playing really, really well this year. But behind them, it's a lot of question marks. So maybe someone in day 3 could be up for grabs, and I would hope it's David Walker. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There's my 5 or 6 day 3 steals that I think the New York Jets should target in the 2025 NFL Draft. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I see you in the next one.